Hello everyone, this is Professor Reha, and I'm going to have to apologize, but I discovered that I was not recording, so 3 things happened that you don't know about. I just forgot to press my recording button. The first thing that happened is that I rescued the apprentice, Darlet. Rescued her. As you can see, I did not get to level 61. The second thing I did was collect the fabric and deliver that, so that's done. For evidence, behold the glorious cloth. The third thing I did is, and this may shock you, so prepare yourselves. Notice how these skills are here. Maxed Occultist, I went all the way up to Possession. Okay? Pulled everything out of Demolitionist to pull this off. Now, notice I am stone cold broke. Now, the reason why I pulled this off is because, as you know from the past few episodes, I would say the past 3 or 5, I've been having a decent amount of trouble surviving. So I needed to get to Possession. I needed to get to Possession quickly, because Possession gives me 16% damage absorption. Normally it's 15. But this gives me a large quantity of damage absorption. It gives me delicious chaos resistance. It gives me a huge boost in my damage across the board. To pretty much everything here that I have. I have Doombolt, which is an insanely powerful skill. One of my favorites. Not my absolute favorite, but one of my favorites. And we're just going to go absolutely whole hog here. I am going... You may remember that I talked about going into a focused build. I am going to go into a focused build. I have decided that I'm going to go into a focused build. The Slayer's Devourer, which is a Vitality and Chaos build. So you will be able to see that we're going to be doing nifty extra amounts of damage. I forgot to put Doombolt on, silly me. I also need to put on my Possession. Can you give me a second, guys? Yeah. There we go. Would kind of help to actually have this stuff on, of course. So this should overall work better, because I was definitely having a problem. Alright. Now, I probably would have died there if I didn't have Possession on. That's right. Will I go back to some of the other abilities that I had on before? Probably. Yes. It is simply a matter of when. Hello, Cosmic Invoker. But yes, we had to make some changes. It just wasn't working out. We're going to have to go with a focused build and just go right with that. Beautiful. Yep. Get that poison on you. There you go. Oh, you're a hero too. Whoops, I did not realize that at first. That was a complete fail. There we go. So, let's see what goes on here. Okay, not bad. Pierce and bleeding resistance is good, except I don't need the bleeding. Fire, acid, aether. Don't do aether. The current resistances I have are better. Alright, leave that alone then. Not the day, Zerg. Get out of here. Okay. See if we get anything good here. No. Okay. Delicious. Uh-huh. Yep, that's fantastic. Love to see it. There's a totem down there, but I'm not sure I want to go for that right now. My armor's in need of some intervention. Although the potential for good items, and maybe even getting that level up I'm so close to, might tip that over. Alright, we might go for that. Where are you going? You're taking the long road. Oh no, you're taking a shortcut, technically. Okay. We'll go over here and deal with these people, as I feel like. Uh-huh. Damage absorption really coming through here. Okay. Okay. Ooh. That was close. That was close. Definitely a very close call. Ooh. There we go. Okay. Last ditch effort to kill me, huh? Interesting. Very interesting. I didn't know that this was for this combination when it was empowered. Okay. Alright. Not a bad idea. I have things that I could theoretically do with that. Would I necessarily stick with it for the long term? No. Unless I find a stronger version, decide to switch over my intended build, which would be fairly funny. When your focused improv suddenly changes focus completely. That was a bad shot. I thought he was going to keep moving up. He did not. He did not even care. You just, chill out. Right there, that's fine. Very nice. Alright, so, we don't need anything else here at this particular junction. And right here, considering my current focused item is something, it was that two-handed gun that I talked about last time that increases thermite and hellfire mine. We're just going to rush to this. We're going to rush right to thermite mine. Don't even care. We need to get down to that totem. Ooh, hello. Alright, so the current goal is to get to level 65 so we can slap on that gunslinger's jacket. Hello. That should take care of most of them. Yep. Also notice the shards. Wait, can I hit anyone through this? Yeah, I can. Good. And a survivor. There we go. Alright, let's see what we can do with this. We're going to put this rift down here. Let's see what we can do with this totem. Good. There's also a secret here we can check. With a random spider in it for some reason. Alright. There we go. That was weird, but okay. Sure. Sure thing. Yeah. That's not bad. We don't need the bleeding resistance. That I'm overcapped on that. Not quite as... I mean, I'll still be under the percentage, but right now we have better armor. We lose only a very small amount of pierce resistance. I'm badly overcapped on poison acid, so I don't need that. The bleeding resistance does go down by about 18, but we get 40% elemental resistance, which is pretty sweet. Only the fire is overcapped, so it's actually a really good idea at this point in time. That was a good torso drop. Thank you. I needed that desperately. All right, let's see what we got here. That took care of most of that party, didn't it now? Oh. There we go. Alright. Beautiful. Beautiful. No, no, no. The shard's coming in handy. Alright, what we're going to do is throw this down. Get rid of you because you shoot. Alright, you didn't quite make that. Someone's slowing me down. That's really bad news. Alright. Maybe we don't. Thanks. Holy cow. Come on. There we go. Too much poison. Too much ether. Yeah. Alright, my constitution should heal me back up by that time. Yep. Just run right into that like a dunce. Thank you. I didn't mean to do that. It's okay. Got this under control. Ooh. No, thank you. Oh, no, I'm frozen. Nope, nope. Come on. Ah, the frozen got me. Ah, if it hadn't been for that freeze, I would have made it out fine. That noise. Good thing I put a rift down. Alright, so that went okay. If it hadn't been for that guy who freezes, what's my entrapment? 35%, that's why. Too low. Oop. Oh, bye. Oop. Is that Aether Lunatic still running around? Okay, you died. You're theoretically next. You're the freezing loser. Thank you. I thought for sure I was going to run into that again. Ah. Boom. That'll take care of the other guy back there, I think. Kind of. I can't hit him? Is that what you're telling me? Oh, I've been, dazzled or something. Whatever you want to call it. Use AoE then. Ha! Eat that, fool. Then we have this mess. Which... Uh-oh. Run. Put this down here. Bye. Again. Oh. Oh yeah, there we go. I tell you, possession makes all the difference here. Alright. More, but that's fine. I need to check these pants. Nice. Okay, vitality. Got elemental resistance. We lose some vitality resistance, but I'm overcapped on that a little bit, so that's fine. Bleeding resistance goes down, which is unfortunate. Fire resistance goes down in exchange for some actual straight-up elemental resistance. Overall, it's a good thing. Bleeding resistance is not a huge deal, so I don't mind losing that. That did not quite work out the way I was hoping it would, but alright. Okay, the double stun. I see how it is. Let's not do this, fellas. Oh, you're the big guy, huh? Alright. anymore, it isn't. I want to at least get rid of the smaller guy. There we go. I can actually take you mano a mano. Just like that. Terrible. But that's okay. What do you want, punk? Good. That was the last of the totem. What do we get? Crystalline. Okay. Well, this is fairly obvious what that's for. What else did we get? Did we get anything useful for me? Not looking good. No. That's okay. Not the best I've ever seen. Nah, not really. Alright. So the crystalline was at least interesting. Obviously not for this particular character, but for future ones it could be an interesting experiment. Alright, we're just going to go ahead and wipe these guys out, because it's going to bother me if I don't later. Oh, there's a door here, that's convenient. Get out of here. Put this down, I should be able to wipe out most of these guys before they get to me. Use the health potion really quick there. Good. Blast you. Excellent. Yes, that worked out rather well, overall. Could have played that a little smarter by not running into them sometimes, but whatever. Right? Get out of my face, punk. Alright. Success. Oh. Oh, kind of trash, but okay. Sure. Anything over here? No. Alright, so far this is going much better, and again, possession is the big reason why. Now, do we have... Hello. There we go. We have nothing. But we can poison these guys through the wall, so that's nice. Actually, we're going to get rid of you first, because you're actually going to be the distance threat. There we go. Put this here. Beautiful. And toasty. We can take you, whatever. I want to take out this chump over here. There we go. Now, we're not going to give you that opportunity. Get out of here. Don't need any of that, thank you. Hello. Didn't even realize you were a hero. Stand in my signal of consumption more, please. Hey, fellas, how you doing? That's what I thought. Uh-huh. Perfect. Problem solved. Smoothly and efficiently. Nope, actually, it turns out I was wrong. Excuse me. You bother me. There we go. That's not good enough. Alright, that did turn out fairly well overall. Hello. An Earthbound Mutant Bludgeon of Ruin. Alright. Good game. Do I even need to use any abilities on you? Yeah, I'm going to. If you start running, I'm throwing Silver Bolt. I'm going to have to do it anyways. Look, you chose this. There we go. Nice. Perfect. Now, usually there's an ambush over here, so that worked out quite nicely. We need to stop you dead in your tracks. We need to stop you dead in your tracks. And we need to kill you really quick. There we go. Just take this slowly. There it is. That's what I was waiting for. Worked out really nicely, though. Just gotta advance slowly, keep calm. Don't panic. Run when you need to. This guy got hit by a direct Chaos Bolt and did not even care. Spoopy. We're gonna go the slightly long way because that has a secret down it. Ooh, bits. No. We need bits, though. Broke. There we go. Capital. Alright. They're all gonna fight over there, that's fine. The Empowered Oathbreaker. Yep. This is a nice one. This is actually really ideal for this combination. By the way, the total damage modified by negative 10% from the presence of virtue, that's Oathkeeper. So as long as you're not an Oathkeeper, you can pretty much use whatever with that. Obviously it's designed for Demolitionists. Just don't be an Oathkeeper Demolitionist. Really. That's all they're really asking of you. It's a simple enough request, I think. Both the empowered and the non-empowered version has that. Can't remember if there's a mythical one. I think there is, but I'm not 100% sure. Don't quote me on that. I don't quite remember. There you are. Ah, that did not work out well. There we go. Better. Huh. Slow that down, slow him down a little bit. There we go. Hello. I mean, the resistances are roughly the same, but this one gives me... yeah. It's overall worth it. We're still working on this, though, because we still want that delicious... We're going to put this on Dreeg's Evil Eye, and the specific reason for that is notice the 100% chance on attack. Now, the nifty thing here is, and what I'm not 100% sure I fully talked about this with the Taken. I know I kind of mentioned it in passing, but the thing with devotion skills, as I call them, I also call them constellation skills, so you'll hear me use both terms interchangeably, is the less frequently you theoretically are able to use a skill, the more likely it is for the assigned devotion skill to trigger, unless it's a guaranteed trigger like the turtle shell. This is why I can't 100% remember if I actually brought up this entire conversation before, because most of the Taken's devotion skills were guaranteed activation. Now, the reason why I went with the Fiend is because, again, I'm still leaning towards the Fire Chaos build. I could change this later on. The fire damage doesn't hurt. There is chaos damage there, so it's not like I won't be using this. And again, I may pick up the Hellhound, I may not. I'm not really sure what I'm doing with that yet. But my next ideal move would theoretically be to go into this at some point. This would require purple and green. Now we have a couple of different options for that. Obviously, we could go with the Quill, but that's mostly elemental damage, which we don't specifically do. So that would be kind of silly. What I'm actually going to wind up doing, if you'll notice that I've been pacing over this, we have the Eye of the Guardian, we have Acid Poison, it goes into Chaos, Poison and Vitality Resistance, and the Guardian's Gaze. Now, why am I going for all of these melee skills anyways? Besides the fact that both of them do chaos damage, which is one of the two damage types that I intend on switching to, one of the two damage types that I'm really looking to do. Both of these do give me the benefit of having a way of defending myself against melee enemies without actually having to directly be melee. The Flame Spout will protect me at melee range. That's going to hit roughly twice for most enemies, I think. And that's very helpful for that reason. And then the Eye of the Guardian is going to pull the same thing, but with Chaos Poison instead of the famed Fire Chaos. Behold the benefits of this particular idea. We have a large quantity of enemies in the area. Also, the nice thing about Flame Torrent that almost nobody ever talks about is the fact that it will follow you around. So if you are in a melee situation, whether you're ranged or not, and you... Look, I can drag this with me, and then hit somebody, and then run. It's just that easy. It's just because it's melee doesn't mean you can't use it in a ranged application. I can hit somebody with this run, and then anybody who's currently in melee with me will still get hit. So it's not just melee in the strictest sense of the word. Did he reborn? Yeah, he did reborn. So don't necessarily restrict these to, oh, this is a melee skill. Well, it depends on how you see it, how you use it. The same thing can be done with the Eye of the Guardian as well. I can approach people aggressively with that and use that in a very similarly aggressive manner. See, this guy right here is a great example of what you can do to melee opponents while still remaining technically ranged. So it's just something you can do. It's just a matter of how you apply the skill. Don't ever view a skill and limit it in such a way as, oh, this is clearly for such and such. Well, yes. While equipment can be limited that way, for example, this increases Blade Spirit, so obviously it's intended for Knife Blades. As I stated way long ago, if a piece of equipment increases a skill for a particular class, most of the time the accompanying stats are intended to boost whatever damage types that skill does. So it's pretty easy to determine whether or not a piece of equipment is dedicated to a particular class by simply what skills it enhances, if any. If it doesn't enhance any, then that's pretty much anyone's game at that point. But by and large, that is a good rule of thumb to follow for equipment. But for skills, for devotion skills like the Flame Torrent, don't limit them like that. How melee one of these is depends on how you use it. Now, some of them, obviously, you can't really change how they're used. Turtle Shell is a great example of this. But for those that do damage, it's all about how you use it and how you perceive it. Nothing is necessarily purely restricted in terms of damage output to one or the other. I'm going to take the left here, mostly for the more experience in Aether Crystals, and I'm hoping for another totem, but it's probably not going to happen. It did not. A little unfortunate, but that's fine. So just keep in mind that how melee some of these skills are, or how ranged some of these skills are, depends really upon how you apply it. There we go. Perfect. Behold. Hit both of these guys with that. Hit him over there with that. I was not expecting it to die that quickly. I was going to flame torrent that thing. Behold, fire. Excellent. I used too many skills on the one guy, but fortunately the random Chaos Bolt saved me. Doom Bolt, pardon me. Ta-da! I run away, he's on fire. It's all in the usage. And here we are at the hidden laboratory. Alright, so... Oh, another thing that I did while I was not recording by accident was I grabbed a Devotion Shrine for the Fiend, obviously. So, Devotion point-wise, right now I'm going to go for the Eye of the Guardian here. I want the Guardian's Gaze. That is going to be very helpful. I'm not sure what ability I'll put it on yet. I'm not 100% sure. But I am going to go for, obviously, the Abomination first, because that'll lead right into Ulzman's Torch, obviously. Which, you know, eventually I want the Delicious Meteor Shower. So, once I get the Eye of the Guardian, I intend on going into the Hydra. Mostly because we are using range. We can get a huge amount of damage increase here. We have attack speed. It's fantastic. And then once we get this, we should be able to get Slael's Witchfire at that particular point. Which, of course, is hugely important for its fire resistance and chaos resistance decrease on enemies. So, that's very important. At that particular point, let me see, I'll have... Well, I already have 3 and 3, so we have 3 green... Well, I'm sorry, 6 green, 9 green, 10 greens. We would need... And for red, we'd have 2, 3 more, so 6. We could go in for the rat. That would be pretty useful overall. Poison acid. Retaliation damage I don't really need, but maybe fine. We don't really need that. Eventually I would also like to get the Magus because Fisher, very nice. That stun percentage, pretty sweet. But yeah, Eye of the Guardian. I may have already covered this Hydra, so Witchblade. I think maybe Magi. Oh, I'm sorry, Rat next. Magi. Abomination. I believe I'll have enough at that for the Abomination at that particular point. And then Ulzman's Torch. So, ability-wise, I'm going to blitz all the way up to Thermite Mine, grab Thermite Mine, and then go into Hellfire Mine. Now, I may change my mind on this a little bit later, depending on primarily what items I get as I approach 90. I'm not sure. So this may change, but for the time being, that's what I'm going to go for. Yes, it's expensive, but that's okay. So, with that being said, I probably will actually wind up changing it depending on what kind of items I get, because this is really more intended for multiplayer, that the Aether Resist decrease. I don't have Aether damage, an ally might. But regardless, either way, it's something that I can kind of prototype for the time being. So we have everything we want out of the Occultist for now. And now we're going to move into Demolitionist towards that Hellfire Mine. So with that being said, thank you all very much for joining me. This episode is going to be a little short because I spent some of my time, unfortunately, not recording. It was actually roughly half an hour that I was not recording, like a doofus. But thank you all very much for joining me. If you liked this, please like and subscribe. And if you have any comments, questions, concerns, or ideas, or anything like that, please leave them down in the comments below. And thank you all very much for joining me, and have a great 24 hours.